Imagine stepping off the beaten path and walking deep into the woods. The familiar sounds of civilization fade away, replaced by the rustle of leaves, the snap of twigs underfoot, and the endless expanse of towering trees. For many people, this moment brings a sudden wave of anxiety. Without cell service, GPS, or a cozy campsite, nature can suddenly feel overwhelming, even hostile. But what if it didn't have to be that way? What if instead of feeling lost, you felt completely at home? Welcome to the world of bushcraft. This isn't about extreme survival or prepping for the end of the world. It's about something much deeper, the art of thriving in nature using minimal tools and maximum knowledge. Survivalism is about escaping a crisis as fast as you can. Bushcraft is the exact opposite. It teaches you to slow down, breathe, and work with the land around you. It's an ancient practice blending indigenous wisdom with practical outdoor skills that anyone can learn. Once you shift your mindset, the woods stop feeling like a threat and start feeling like a classroom. Think about the quiet confidence that comes with wilderness self-reliance. When you know how to spark a fire in soaking wet conditions, a sudden downpour loses its power to terrify you. When you know how to locate and purify clean water, an empty canteen is no longer a reason to panic. These skills sharpen your mind, teaching you to stay calm under pressure and think clearly when it matters most. Every single technique you learn builds upon the last, reconnecting you to a grounded way of living that modern life constantly strips away. So how do you actually start? It all begins with your gear. Beginners often fall into the trap of buying endless gadgets, but real bushcraft relies on a few simple, highly functional tools. At the very top of your list should be a solid, fixed-blade knife. It's the ultimate multi-tool for cutting, carving, and preparing food. Right alongside it, you need a ferrocerium rod or a reliable lighter, because in the wild, fire is non-negotiable. Add some high-strength paracord for building shelters, a durable tarp for instant weather protection, and a metal container that allows you to boil water directly over open flames. Keep it simple, focus on quality, and remember, your knowledge weighs nothing. Speaking of your blade, mastering basic knife skills will completely transform your outdoor experience. A knife is only as dangerous as the person holding it, which is why safety rules like maintaining a clear blade circle are essential. Once you master safe handling, you can move on to techniques like battening, striking the spine of your knife with a wooden baton to split tough logs safely, or carving feather sticks, which are thin, delicate curls of wood shaved from a dry branch. Feather sticks dramatically increase your chances of catching a spark when everything around you is damp. Learning notch cutting for shelter frames and keeping your blade razor sharp are the building blocks of true woodsman control. And then there's fire. Reliable fire-starting techniques separate a cold, miserable night outdoors from a genuinely unforgettable experience. A ferro rod is a beginner's best friend because it generates massive sparks, regardless of rain or wind. But striking the spark is only 10% of the job. The real secret lies in preparation. Before you even light a match, you must gather 3 distinct layers of fuel: fine tinder, slender kindling, and thick fuel wood. Knowing where to find dry tinder, like scraping the dry interior of dead standing wood after a heavy storm, is what makes the difference between success and freezing in the dark. Now that you've got your tools sorted and a fire roaring, it's time to talk about one of the most critical elements of spending a night in the wild: shelter. Confident shelter building removes the overwhelming fear of exposure. The single biggest mistake beginners make is waiting until the sky turns dark to start looking for a campsite. Always pick your site early. Look for flat, dry ground, away from dead standing trees, what foresters call widowmakers, and stay well above potential flood zones. For quick protection, a simple lean-to shelter built with a ridgepole and angled branches gives you an immediate barrier against the elements. If temperatures drop toward freezing, a debris hut made from piles of leaves, pine needles, and brush acts like a natural sleeping bag, trapping your body heat surprisingly well. But here is the golden rule of wilderness shelter: the ground will steal more heat from your body than the air around you. Spending time piling up dry leaves or hemlock boughs for a thick bed beneath you is just as important as building a roof overhead. With warmth and shelter covered, your next urgent priority is water. Dehydration impairs your judgment far faster than hunger ever will. While a clear running stream looks inviting, never assume wild water is safe to drink raw. Pathogens and bacteria can turn an amazing trip into a medical emergency. Boiling is your absolute best defense. Bringing water to a rolling boil for just 1 minute kills virtually all harmful microorganisms. Always keep a metal container in your kit so you can purify water directly over open flames. Modern portable filters and chemical purification tablets are fantastic backups, but knowing how to read the landscape for water sources is priceless. Look for clusters of lush green vegetation in dry valleys, or watch for animal trails that converge like funnel lines leading toward a hidden stream. In extreme situations, sweeping a clean cotton cloth through morning dew can yield enough moisture to keep your mind sharp. Food, on the other hand, is where many beginners get overly ambitious. Foraging wild edible plants is incredibly rewarding, but it demands absolute precision. The golden rule of foraging is simple and non-negotiable. If you cannot identify a plant with 100% certainty, do not put it in your mouth. Many toxic species closely mimic safe edible plants. Forget quick internet searches. Invest in a regional field guide specific to your local biome. Start small by learning 2 or 3 unmistakable species, like dandelions, wild plantain, or cattails. Cattails are often called the supermarket of the wild, because almost every part of the plant is usable at different times of the year. Treat foraging as a lifelong study, adding just 1 or 2 verified plants to your knowledge base each season, rather than rushing to eat off the land right away. Navigation is another area where modern outdoorsmen rely too heavily on technology. A dead GPS battery or lost cell signal shouldn't cause instant panic. Long before compasses existed, travelers read the land. The sun gives you a constant reference, rising roughly in the east and setting in the west. At night in the northern hemisphere, locating the North Star gives you an unwavering directional anchor. Forget the popular myth that moss only grows on the north side of trees. It grows wherever it finds moisture and shade. Instead, rely on proven shadow stick methods or learn to track natural features like river systems and ridgelines. Building a mental map of your surroundings as you walk ensures you always know your way back. Even the most passionate newcomers fall into predictable traps that experienced outdoorsmen learned to avoid years ago. The most common mistake? Overpacking. Carrying a massive backpack loaded with every shiny tool from the store will only exhaust you before you even make camp. Remember, gear is great, but relying on it completely turns your trip into a fragile experience. If you lose a gadget, your confidence shouldn't disappear with it. Another major error is keeping your plans a secret. Never head into the woods without leaving your precise route and expected return time with someone you trust. Nature is unpredictable, and taking a simple wrong step on a slippery slope can turn a routine afternoon hike into an emergency. Pair that with ignoring incoming weather forecasts, and you're setting yourself up for unnecessary danger. Always respect the elements, pack warm layers, and know your physical limits. That brings us to the core foundation of bushcraft, building the right mindset. Skills, gear, and techniques are useless if you don't approach the wilderness with the right attitude. Patience is everything. True outdoor competence doesn't happen overnight. It builds slowly through repeated, imperfect practice. You will fail to catch a spark on your ferro rod. You will struggle to build a dry shelter in the wind. But instead of getting frustrated, treat every single failure as valuable feedback. Curiosity beats frustration every single time. Modern life conditions us to expect instant push-button results, but nature operates on a completely different timeline. Slowing down, observing how the forest changes around you, and taking pride in mastering one basic skill at a time is what transforms a stressed camper into a confident woodsman. Bushcraft isn't about mastering the wild or fighting against nature. It's about building a genuine relationship with the outdoors. It's about stepping into the forest, taking a deep breath, and realizing that with a sharp blade, a spark, and the right knowledge, you have everything you need to thrive.